everybody, I have another tag for you today. This is the winter is coming tag, and winter is here at this point, so I guess it's a little late. I was tagged by Whitney over at Accio Books, who I will leave in the description if you want to go check out her channel. And no, this is not a Game of Thrones tag, this is just all about the winter times. So let's get right into it. First up is snow, and for this it says, it is beautiful when it first falls, but then it starts to melt. Pick a book or a book series that you loved at the beginning, and then at the middle of it, you sort of realize you didn't like it anymore. For this I'm gonna go with the Gone series by Michael Grant. I read the first one, and it was enjoyable. It wasn't like the best thing ever, but it was gripping enough and interesting enough to keep me reading for the first 3 books, but then for some reason, the third one just wasn't striking a chord with me. I had the first 4 in the house, and I just had no motivation to read Plague, the 4th one, and then there were still more in the series after that, so I just kind of gave up on it and was like, I don't really want to do this. Number 2 is Snowflake, something beautiful and always different. Choose a book that stands out, that's different from all the other books that you've read. The first book that comes to mind for me when I think of this is The Night Circus, just because something about Erin Morgenstern's writing style just felt very unique to me, and just the way that the story progressed and the way that it was written, just in general, I couldn't think of anything to quite compare it to. It was originally an NaNoWriMo novel also, which is cool. If you want to know my thoughts on it, I do have a review. It's non-spoilery, so you can check it out to see if you would be interested in it. I really can't think of any other book that I can compare it to that gives you a good idea of what it's like. This is what it looks like, by the way. I forgot to grab it. Number 3 is Snowman. It's always fun to make one with your family. Choose a book that the whole family could read. Obvious choice, Harry Potter. That's actually how I experienced this series. My parents and I read them aloud together, like from the first one all the way up until the 6th one. This is the only one that we didn't read together as a family, and we actually had to buy 2 copies because of it. Like, we didn't want to have to wait for each person to finish it, so I got one and then my parents got one to share. Number 4 is Christmas. Choose a book that is full of happiness that made you warm inside after reading it. I don't know where my copy of it is right now, but a book that I absolutely loved in like early high school was What My Mother Doesn't Know. Something about it was super relatable to me, and it just made me so happy reading it. I don't know. It's a cute little contemporary written all in verse, and I really loved it when I was younger. Number 5 is Santa Claus. He brings wonderful presents. Choose a book that you'd like to get for Christmas. I'm gonna have to go with The Slow Regard of Silent Things by Patrick Rothfuss on this one, which kind of was on my holiday list, but not really. I think I only mentioned it to one person, and I wasn't really expecting to get it because it just came out in October. It's a hardcover, and it's only a novella, so like, I'll get it eventually. Like, I don't need it right this second. Number 6 is snowballing. It can be painful to be hit by a snowball. Oh, does that mean like a snowball fight? I don't know what snowballing is. I'm assuming it's a snowball fight. Anyway, choose a book that hurt, that made you feel some strong emotion like sadness or anger. Did somebody say Game of Thrones? Number 7 is Sledding. We all loved it when we were younger. Choose a book that you loved when you were a child. There are so many great choices I could pick for this. I think I'm just gonna go with Indigo Star by Hilary McKay, which is part of the like Casson family series or whatever. I didn't know it was part of the series at first. Like, that was the only one I'd read from it, and I just fell in love with it. There was something about it that I really, really enjoyed as a kid. I now have since read the other ones in that series, but that one remains my favorite. Number 8 is Frostbite. Choose a book that you were really disappointed in. I'm sorry, Divergent fans, I'm gonna have to say Insurgent for this one. I think of the trilogy, that one was my least favorite. Divergent is not my favorite young adult dystopian trilogy by any means. Like, I think it's just so-so. But I did quite enjoy the first one. It was still like a good time, and so I did still have fairly high expectations for the second one, and I just remember being completely let down because I was bored through most of it and not much happens until the very end, and I felt like the characters weren't super consistent, and Tristan 4 were annoying the crap out of me by arguing all the time. It actually gave me like really low expectations for Allegiant, which I think is why I ended up liking it a little bit better, because then at least I didn't expect it to be great. I just thought it would be okay, and it was just okay. But yeah, Insurgent, sorry. Finally, number 9 is Reindeer, which is something that is very dear to us. Okay, anyway. Choose a book that is of great sentimental value to you. Oh, puns. That's an easy one for this. I'm going with The Little Prince. I just adore that children's story. I love it so much. I'm really hoping to find a copy of it in a couple other languages while I'm abroad. That's one of my goals for like things to bring back with me. And that's it. So thank you again to Whitney for tagging me in the first place. I don't think I'm actually going to tag anyone specific for this one. I just tag you in general if you haven't done it, because I feel like a lot of people have already done this one. I don't know. If you want to do it, go for it. I'm not going to put any specific names down below. This has been a tag video again. My name is Jackie, and I will see you guys pretty soon. Bye!